All right, here's my care and respect part 4. Numb, this is my numbness. Dumb, this is the dumbest. Dumb like it's the dumbest. Let's just give tens and call it quits the end, because if you didn't get it then, just listen to the subjective discussion. Sorry, wrong one, this conclusion. If the fanning of flames helps them, just put out the rage and then watch the cage break from the pain they've painted. This is the way I've kept in, this is the way I've listened, and I say, Captain, I need a way to listen. So let's start with the rhyme schemes, right? Numb, this is my numbness. Dumb, this is the dumbest. Dumb like it's the dumbest, right? We'll start with this set, right? We're going numb, right? This is my numbness. Numb-est. Dumb, best. Dumb, ist, right? You got the ist, So you got est, est, ist, right? And then up here you got this is, and then my doesn't have anything. This is the, it's, right? So we got these 4 connecting and these 4 connecting, right? And then of course all these go together, but like those are obvious. And then we got let's, which sort of goes with it's, just. So we got the give goes to quits down here, actually tens, right? And dumbest doesn't really go well, but it sort of does, because you got the ns and and sort of go well together. Then call, so just, call, sort of goes together. It over here quits, and then end, and then the, which goes cause if you didn't get it then, right? So you got cause, and then you got if, should have been underlined, but if, so we got if didn't get it then, right? So I'm just sort of trying to always end it in the sound, and then get an somewhere in there, right? Like the, just, wrong, right? Wrong doesn't go too well, but it sort of got the sound, right? So then you got justice into the subjective discussion, right? Subjective, right? And then, just, subjective, discussion, right? Subjective, discussion sort of go, because you got and then you got and then right? Subjective, if sort of goes like in, right? It sort of sounds similar enough. It sounds good enough where it doesn't sound too jarring, especially with the guitar going into it, right? Sorry, wrong one, this conclusion, right? Wrong one, well, and then these two go well enough together that it sort of takes away from this fact that it doesn't go too well together with these, right? Conclusion, and then you got the there, and then you got this going to the is sound, and then for the conclusion, discussion, conclusion. If you got the if the fanning of flames helps them, right? You got the and then you got fanning flames, right? Flames, fanning, they don't go too well, but you got f and fanning sort of just helps with the sorry, e, and then of, where you got the flames helps them, and then you got the helps sort of goes well because it helps, and then you got them, right? You got then, discussion, conclusion, them, then, right? These two go really well together. Just put out the rage, just the put out. These two sort of go together because you got and they sort of sound well, just enough. You got rage from flames, and then, and you got then, right? Helps them, and then. Watch, you got the there, their, which goes here where it's they've, like their, they've, right? And then cage with the rage and the flames. So we got 3, and then we got break, cage, from. And then from doesn't go too well with then, but you got the and you got which sort of sounds like so it works. And then you got the right there, right? The, watch, from, pain, which cage, rage, flames, they've painted, right? And pain and they've, you got they, so you got 3, pain, they've painted, but also the go here. And painted, pain, painted. And then ed sort of goes with then, which doesn't go too well from painted, but it doesn't sound jarring because you got so many multisyllabic rhymes, and you got this entire time you got the so you either got the so you've got got enough of a sound where it sounds well enough. This, so there's the I stuff that we've, like, they've sort of has it, but we just repeated it back from like painted because remember, we still got that sound in here. So this is the way, you know, I've kept in, I've, they've, you know, but you also got I back in here, which I is repeated 3 times, kept in. Then, you know, you got and you got the ept, and this is right here, this is, but also I, the way I've listened, right? Listened, kept in. They got the I versus the but they sound well enough. And then you got right? They sound well enough. They don't actually rhyme, but they sound good enough where they can be put together and people could be like, oh yeah, I can see where that pattern's from, right? And I say captain, you got the say instead of way, but it got the A, and you got I instead of I've, but you got the I, and sort of goes with sound, captain. And captain and captain go very well. Very well. So, you know, I got captain, listened, listen. But kept in, you know, cap, ten, in, right? So those are extremely well multisyllabic rhymes, in my opinion at least. I sort of split it up, you know, captain. I need a way to listen, right? Need doesn't really go too well in here, but like I said before, and I think the second one, you don't always need it to always rhyme all together. Sometimes this breakaway sounds nice, and you got which sort of just kept in here anyways. Way, you know, say way to listen, and then listened sound very well because they're practically the same word, but you know, sort of makes it change, but it doesn't sound too different at all. You know, I've listened to listen, right? And so that's sort of how that ends. And now let's get into the actual explanation and, you know, stuff like that. So numb, you know, my care can also be described as what I feel, right? Since I'm numb, I don't feel anything. Dumb, I was using as a multi-syllable thing, or a metaphor, right? Double entendre, you could say, where it's like dumb, like I'm being stupid, but also dumb, like, hey, I'm dumb to this feeling, like I don't feel this thing, you know? I can't remember exactly where I've seen this, or if it's just an idea I've gotten in my head that makes no sense, but my opinion of like dumb can be, you know, you're stupid, or you don't understand, you don't feel, right? And then, you know, dumbest, basically the same word. I just wanted to get this at least 3 times instead of just doing twice, right? And it worked out because, you know, dumbest, it's sort of dumb that I have to make it sound different. So I was trying to get that idea into there where it's like, you know, I'm so dumb that I don't understand that I just had to do this once, right? Let's just give tens, like, you know, like, hey, give me 5, but this time we'll give it tens of minutes, like hours, and call it quits the end. You know, after tens of minutes, tens of hours, you know, hours, call it quits the end, you know. Hey, after 10, we call it quits, you know. Because if you didn't get it then, like, if you didn't get it, then here, let me explain it. Just listen to just listen to subjective discussion. So, you know, subjective discussion sort of sounds a little weird, doesn't it? Like, hey, you can't really have a subjective discussion. Like, you can, sort of, as much as you can have a biased manager. Like, the idea could be there, but not with human imperfection. Sorry, wrong one. Oh, so he is wrong. This conclusion. Oh, so he's completely, like, not, like, I'm completely, like, hey, this is how it does. Like, you know, I'm being arrogant here. If the fanning of flames helps them, you know, if me giving them a reaction to how this is making me feel helps them, just put out the rage. So just put out any bad reaction, any, you know, hateful reaction, any rage or irritation, you know, any reaction at all. Put out the rage and then watch your cage break from the pain they've painted. So once you stop giving them a reaction, their cage will break, you know. The way they've conformed, the way they've formed, the way to keep you in will break from the pain they've painted. So they have to eventually face the way. Like, they have to face the music. They have to face what they're doing, face what they're saying, face their actions, you know. Sometimes the best way to solve the problem is to give no reaction, you know. Just like I said, like, maybe it's not lose my care, but like, I'm being numb to this because, well, I've noticed, hey, them screaming in my face or them screaming at my siblings, like, man, even when they were screaming at my siblings, that was one of the reasons where I'm like, I gotta remove you. But basically, you can't act in this world screaming, trying to get your way. Eventually, it will bite you in the like, it will bite back. But if you just keep giving them the reaction they want, they're not gonna have as much consequences, or you're gonna be filled in and you're gonna have consequences as well. But the way they're acting, they will get their own consequences. You don't need to be falling victim to their own actions by getting consequences as well, right? This is the way I've kept in. Like, this is the way I've made it so I haven't killed them, right? This is the way I've kept in my emotions and kept myself in check. This is the way I've listened. So I've listened and paid attention. Like, this is the way I've learned, basically. And I say, Captain, you know, God, I need a way to listen. Like, this is not a healthy way. Like, obviously, it's not working. If I had to write this song, what I'm doing right now, keeping it in, just trying to act numb or being numb or losing my care and respect, it hasn't worked. So I need a way to listen. I need a new way to learn, God. I need a new way to do this, because this obviously isn't working. Even though I've just explained how it should be working, it isn't working, right? So this started off as a song to them, and then it sort of turned into a God. We're like, hey, God, look, this is how I've been reacting. I know this isn't healthy, and I know this isn't right, but I need a way to do this. I need a way to listen. I need a way to change up my situation, change up how I'm acting, right? And that's basically the whole gist of, like, the song, this last bit. But also just the whole song in general is, you know, my care and respect are being lost, and I'm getting violent tendencies, violent thoughts. And the only thing that's really keeping me away from it is not much of what should be. So I need a way, I need a new way to think about this. I need a new way to listen, because if not, I'm going to probably act on my decisions that are not the right ones. And you can also see, like, subjective decision, conclusion. Right there, I was being arrogant, but also, like, I purposely wrote it like that to show, hey, it was a discussion, but they don't have any part in this. They have no opinion on whether this discussion works or not. So really, it's just a conclusion. This is finalized. Like, I don't care what they say, right? And then, you know, fanning of flames, right? Stuff like that. But just, you know, really, this is me explaining, you know, my thought process then when I was like 15, 14, something like that. And yeah, that's the whole thing. This is actually the final part of my care and respect, right? This is part 4, the final part. Then I'll have obituary that I gotta write and stuff. But yeah, thank you for hanging out and listening to this. Tell me y'all's opinion on care and respect series. What you guys gleaned from this. Did you get anything new that you hadn't heard or understood from the song? Did I even have to explain this stuff? I probably should have explained part 3 more. And yeah, thank you. Give it a like if you like it. I see that part 1 is getting a lot of likes or views, not likes, but views. But yeah, thank you.